Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Today we are here with a very different series on F1 2014. This is sort of like a fantasy career mode on F1 2014, using loads of different liveries and having loads of different teams in the game. Basically just changing the liveries of most of the cars on the grid. There's a couple which are sort of the same sort of team but just different liveries. But I'm going to quickly run through them here as we do one-shot qualifying on the screen. Basically, Mercedes is now transformed into Jordan F1. Red Bull has transformed into Volkswagen, which is who myself and Will are racing for. This is actually like an online co-op championship as well. I thought that would add an extra dimension into it as well, with the sort of two-player versus, you know, extra teammate duels and everything. Hopefully that makes it exciting for you guys as well. Ferrari is still Ferrari, but it's just got a different livery. Williams is now KFC Williams. Force India is Police Interceptor F1 team. Toro Rosso is Rockstar F1 team. Lotus is Minardi. Sauber have the 2015 sort of livery on their car. It's a blue Sauber. Caterham is Ford Formula 1 team. Marussia is Audi Formula 1 team. And McLaren is Orange McLaren. Well, I think that's gone through everyone, and hopefully you guys understand. You'll see in the video what I mean with all the different liveries and everything, but I think this should really switch it up. It's going to be a 7-race like co-op season. Basically, we're just going to do like a custom race, and I'll choose our favourite 7 tracks and do those throughout this season. Sort of like the 7-race season I've been doing in my modded career mode. It's going to be similar to that, but we've got to basically go online because you can't do 7-race season in co-op career mode. Hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this series a lot, and we're going to be doing one-shot qualifying each time as well. We could lock up quite a bit there and go a bit wide, and you can see Hamilton's gone past. It will mean that we're going to be running like standard setups in a way. You can choose through the basic setups. We're not going to be able to go into like in-depth loads of setups, meaning we could be a bit slower than we would be if we had like proper setups on here. So that's added an extra dimension to this game as well, to make sure that we're not as quick as we maybe were in the co-op career mode series you saw on my second channel. But yeah, across the line there, and I think that's 4th place on the grid there, 1.3 seconds behind Hamilton in his Jordan. Unfortunately, we can't change the team names on the screen there, because I think that would mean that we couldn't play online or something. But basically, we just changed the liveries. We didn't change any names or anything in the game, so basically all that's changed is the liveries. And I'll update you at the end, but I'm sure it'll be a bit confusing, but just look at the standings at the end of this video and you'll hopefully understand who's who. And obviously throughout the race you'll see the liveries and everything. You'll get to understand it. But anyway, that's the strategy we're going for here. It's a 15-lap race round, Australia. Now, I'm sure some people are going to be asking, why can't you do longer races, Alex, like 50% or 100% races? Well, it's really tough for our schedules to meet at the same time. So basically, we only have about 30 to 40 minutes each week to record a video, guys. So hopefully you guys understand that. That's why we can't do longer races, because we hardly have any time that we can actually go online. So hopefully that does clear that up. So if anyone does comment that down below, you guys, you can let them know that in the future as well. But here we are. There's Lewis Hamilton in his Jordan on pole position. There's our Volkswagen livery on 4th place in the grid. You can see Will's down there in 12th place on the grid. He hadn't had the greatest of qualifying. That's actually the Ferrari, the black Ferrari. I think it's quite a cool livery anyway. But the lights are building. You can see on the top of your screen there, 4 lights and 5 lights, and the lights are out, and away we go here in Australia for this first round of this Volkswagen Fantasy Random Career Mode, whatever I'm going to call it, I don't know. But as we head down to turn 1, Hamilton's had a good start, but Alonso's had a great start. He's looking down the inside, he's slightly get squeezed to the apex, then Alonso's quite slow through turn 1, and Hamilton's actually grabbed a gap of about a second already. You can see there's Button in his orange McLaren. He's made his way up into 3rd place there, and now we're breaking into this heavy braking zone. Is this turn 3? I think it's technically called turn 3, even though I don't know, but whatever. Now we've got to try and catch the gap down to Hamilton, because we all know their car's quite a bit faster, so it's going to be quite tough to catch them down, but we'll try our best. Obviously we do have a good sort of car around the corners and stuff, but it's just a straight line where we'll lose out to Hamilton really around this track at least. But you can see Will's made his way up into 3rd place as well. He hadn't had the greatest of qualifying positions, but he's managed to get through the turn 1 carnage where everyone was just pretty much crashing into each other. That's how Button got up into 3rd place for a bit there. He's managed to capitalise on that, and he's got up into 3rd place now, and he'll be hoping to be able to catch up to Hamilton and I and possibly take this victory, which would be an amazing feat for him really. Starting in 12th place and getting a win or something like that would be absolutely crazy for him, but let's hope he can do it, or maybe finish 2nd behind me. But anyway, you can see the gap to Hamilton's over a second. second now, nearly 1.2 seconds. So we've got to try our best to just keep it on the track now and hopefully close them up, maybe through the pit stop stages or something around the straight. You can see a little bit sideways through there as we break through the penultimate turn, not quite hitting the apex, and then the final turn here as well. We're going to just sort of drift away from the apex ever so slightly. As we head up to the start finish line, we'll see the gap is about 1 second still to Hamilton in front, 1.37 seconds now. As we head on to lap number 7 now, you can see I've caught Hamilton, but Will's fallen back quite a bit here. He's over 6 seconds behind us here. He was saying, whilst I was talking to him on Skype, he doesn't really have the pace to really keep up with us here. And for anyone wondering, we can't really do live commentary. Will doesn't really want to be on YouTube. I mean, he used to be on YouTube and did videos, but he's deleted all that now. So hopefully you guys respect that. He doesn't really want to be on YouTube anymore, so hopefully you guys understand that. That's why we can't really do live commentary. As we head out to the start finish line here, you can see we do a 30.2, about half a second down on our fastest lap here, but we have got the DRS and we have a good run down that main straight here, so we're going to be able to look maybe past Hamilton. We've got the DRS wide open now as we're heading down to turn number 3, looking down the inside of Hamilton. Is he going to leave a gap? Yes, he's left a gap. We're down the inside and we're up into the lead of this race for Volkswagen, and hopefully now we can just maintain this race lead and possibly take a race win, which would be really good for us. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We've still got quite a bit of this race to go, and there's still a lot of time for Hamilton to come back at us here. You can see he's only 0.3 of a second behind us, so he's probably got the pace to catch up to us. But we're heading to lap number 7 here. A slight mistake into the penultimate turn. Hamilton pitted on the end of lap number 6, so we're pitting here on lap number 7 to hopefully cover him here and hopefully get out in front of him in the pit stop stages. Will's pitted already as well, so Rosberg's actually in second place at the time of going into the pits, and as hopefully we'll get out in front of him. Yes, we will. Rosberg, not too sure what's happened to him, but he's way down the order by the looks of it. After everyone's stopped, he'll probably end up in like 7th or something in place. We'll see in the end results, but you can see some cars coming down the home straight that hopefully one of them isn't Hamilton. 3 have gone past there. None of them look to be good cars, but oh, that's Hamilton coming out the pit lane there. Actually, Hamilton's going to just get us out the pit lane. He's jumped us through the pit stop stages, and now we've got to close down about a second gap here and try and get it back, and that's exactly what we've done. As we've gone to lap number 9 here, I was putting in some consistent lap times. We still haven't beaten our 1:29.795 yet, but we're closing up to Hamilton, which is the main thing. You can see Will has gone quite far back here. He's 11.4 seconds back here. As we head into the penultimate turn once again, we're going to try and get a good run through here. But he's slightly made contact with Hamilton now. It means he runs a little bit wide. Final turn, we go all over the sort of dirty part of the track and lose a bit of grip there. But luckily we've still got the DRS, so that still means we can hopefully get him down the straight here as we head down to turn 1. You can see we're putting in decent lap times here. Obviously not as fast as we were on the soft compound tyre, and obviously we're here on the medium compound tyre at the moment. So we should be able to get the DRS down the second straight. Yes, we do. We should be able to get past Hamilton down here like we did earlier on in this race. We can look down the inside here. It's quite late down the inside of Hamilton. No, it's not going to quite work out this time. Hamilton, there was a bit of contact there, but I decided to give him the place back and we'll try and go on the outside. And once again, he nearly squeezes us over that big sausage curb on the outside there, but luckily for us, we don't spin or anything. We managed to keep our second place here and still have the fight right in front of us here for this lead of this race here. And Hamilton defending all he can here with only like 5 or so laps to go here, 5.5 laps to go. He's going to try his best here to try and just defend, and hopefully for us at least we'll try and get past him, but who knows what's going to happen here in Australia. Australia most of the time throws up really crazy races. It didn't in 2015, but most of the time it does. But anyway, we're building up speed once again. We're going to the fast left right, where in at least qualifying it seemed where the AI was slower, and you can see once again here that might be the case. We've caught up to Hamilton once again and we're right up in the slipstream here. Is there going to be enough speed to go down the inside here? We're not quite close enough. We can't quite get past him there. And that was maybe a possible overtaking place if we hadn't made the slight mistake earlier on in the lap where we slightly hit into Hamilton. But we've got a DRS hopefully once again down this main straight. You can see actually Will, I think, is closing in that gap a bit, but it's going to have to be some really good driving from him to close down an 11-second gap in 5 laps of this race to go. As we head down the main straight once again, still in the fast fuel mixture, for that gap to Hamilton has actually increased now. But as we head on to lap number 11, you can see we've sort of caught up to him once again. We're going to get the DRS down this main straight once again. We're not very good around that final turn. We always seem to lose quite a bit of time through that final turn. And actually, by the look of it on the mini-map there, guys, there's a lapped car or someone in front of us here. I'm guessing it's a lapped car, unless he's been lapped already and he's 2 laps down. But he's definitely going to be a lapped car in either one of those cases. But Hamilton's still too far ahead here. We got the DRS somehow. I'm sure we're further than 1 second back. But anyway, you can see that gap to Will is still going backwards. So by the look of it, we're going to easily get at least second place here today. But it looks like it's the Ford. I think it might be Ericsson, but we'll see in a second here what happens with that. But we'll have that lap car to deal with at some point in these last 3 or so laps of this race, because he's obviously going like 4 or 5 seconds a lap slower than us here. So we're going to have to catch him and overtake him inevitably. But we're right up behind Hamilton here. We're looking down the inside, but he brakes really early and actually crashes into the back of him here. And at this point, I'm just giving the position back. Obviously, I'm not completely backing off, but you'll see I sort of lift off a little bit here and let him down the inside. It was very subtle, but I did actually let him through there. He didn't have a better run through the corner, obviously, because he'd already been crashing into the back of. And once again, what's he doing? He's really slow through there. And Hamilton, I don't know what he's doing, but he's just leaving us a really good opportunity here. We're going to look down the inside here. We're slightly overlapping as we go down the inside here. We brake about at the same time. Hamilton trying to go around the outside. He just drives himself off into the grass. He maintains his position, or maintains second place, I should say, but very weird there to see Hamilton. We were going side by side through the corner. I'm sure there was enough space around the outside there for him to overtake, or stay around the outside, I should say. But for some reason, he just drove off into the grass, and that meant that he lost his lead of the race. And now he's got a really big fight back here, and it's looking maybe a bit unlikely that he'll close down this gap. What's the time across the line? 2.8 seconds here, so it's going to be quite a bit of time to make up for Hamilton here. But it looks like it is the Ford here of Marcus Ericsson down this back straight here with no DRS. But we're looking around the outside. He's not giving us the space, but we managed to go around the outside of Marcus Ericsson in his Ford and move up, or past the lapped car. Still in the lead of the race, luckily. And as we skip ahead to the last lap of the race here, you can see we've got a car right behind us here. That's actually a police interceptor of, I think, Hulkenberg, who for some reason has like pitted 2 times or something, has ended up a lap behind us here. He was catching us. He was about, I think, 5 or 6 seconds back as he exited the pit lane from us, and then he just fought back, and he's really trying. And I was like, we don't want to let him through really, because that could cause carnage. But we head across the start finish line there to finish in first place in this Volkswagen Fantasy Random Career Mode. As I said, I'm recording this, I'm not too sure what I'm going to call it, but anyway, Hamilton finished in second place, with Will in third place. Fernando Alonso finished in fourth place with Bottas, Magnussen, Button, Perez, Raikkonen and Rosberg finished in 10th place there, which isn't very good for him. So that's not good to see for the Jordan team, obviously finishing in second place. But they'd obviously hope to get anything better than 10th place really there for Rosberg, starting in second place on the grid as well. Good race actually for there from Perez, managing from 11th place on the grid up to 8th. And look at that, Hulkenberg finished in 21st place after starting on 8th place on the grid. But yeah, look at that, good race there from Perez in his police interceptor. I'm going to laugh every time I say that, because it's so funny. There's actually a livery for the Force India for that. But anyway, that is it for the Australian Grand Prix. We'll see in a second here, obviously our win. And I don't know whether you guys like the helmet. Do you like the helmet that we've got on in this career mode here? Do you think that's a cool helmet? I haven't got my modded helmets on. I think this one's quite cool though. It sort of goes with the livery quite well. So yeah, that's it for the race, guys. You can see we're celebrating on our car. But anyway, that's the driver standings. You can see there as it was in the race. But the constructor standings, the one you haven't seen, we currently lead on 40 points. Jordan in second place on 19. Ferrari on 14. And Orange McLaren on 14, and KFC Williams have got 10 points as well. And I think Force India obviously got the 4 points as well in 8th place, but that's 6th place in the championship for them as well. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks again for watching. What I'll do is in the description of this video I'll put what all the cars are, if that makes any sense. So I'll put the Mercedes, the Jordan, Red Bull, the Volkswagen. I'll try and do that for the rest of the series so you don't get confused. But anyway, thanks for watching. It's been AlexZAfRo here. Goodbye.